Hello everyone, welcome back to Amy's Bookshelf. Today we're going to do TBR Clue for April. So TBR Clue is my way of picking books where I pick a prompt out of my mug here, and then I have to fit the prompt to, or fit a book to the prompt. You can check out my playlist for all the rules and how I play this game from January of this year. And I have to tell you, I did not expect that 3 months in, I would fail a TBR, and we did. Let's get into the books I read and why. I'm sorry if my background's a little messy. I have been vlogging this month, and if you check out my vlogs, you'll see that I have just been in a mood. To be honest, I've been in a mood. That sounds really dramatic, but I've been in a mood about books and about my reading and what I've been picking, and it's not been good. So let's get into the rooms I read books for and the prompts and all that. I also have a little bit of a runny nose starting. I'm sorry. I think I might be getting a cold, but I hope that doesn't impact my voice. So the rooms. So for the hall, I picked up a used book. I already had to, and I read After the Funeral. For the lounge, I had to read a book for the prompt for the billiards room, and I utterly failed. I did read about 120 pages, maybe 150 pages of Breaking Point, and I DNF'd it. But in my game, a DNF does not count, so I failed. So I'll be risking it on that room. Next, for the dining room, I had the lead pipe prompt, and I read Soul's Lanterns, or The Soul Lanterns, that book. I really loved it though. Then for the kitchen, I had to read a book from the 1900s, and I read Brave New World. Then for the ballroom, I had to read Mrs. Peacock, and I read Devil's Star. Then for the conservatory, I read a nonfiction, and I read God of Deliverance. For the billiards room, I had to read a book that was a color wheel pick, which was black, and I read As Good as Dead. For the library, I had to read a romance, and I read The Souls of Lost Lake. And then for the study, I had to read a book from Mr. Body, and I read Warriors in Winter, because Mr. Body, according to the lore, he has an archaeology or an anthropology degree, one of the two. And Mrs. Peacock, according to the lore, is a politician. So that worked quite well for Devil Stars. That one's quite political. That's why I picked those two. So the problem is that I don't have two of the prompts. Let me show you what I mean. So this was the setup that I left from last month. So we can even just look over here. These are the rooms or people revealed by my previous cards. I didn't touch them from last month. Over here from the conservatory, and over here, these are all revealed. Now, I don't know what's in here because I don't know what's in the lounge, and I have to figure it out by guessing. So I need to think. So the person can be either Mrs. Peacock or Mrs. White, or Dr. Orchid, I should say. Mrs. Peacock or Dr. Orchid. The weapon is the dagger. And then the room is the hall, lounge, dining room, kitchen, ballroom, conservatory, billiards room, library. So it's either, so it's the dagger, and it's either the dining room or the library, and it's Mrs. Peacock or Dr. Orchid. And so I can mess up on two areas. I'm going to go with Dr. Orchid with the dagger in the library. I have no idea if I'm right. So here we go. First one. Okay, Dr. Orchid. That's a relief. I'm wrong. So we get a punishment book. Let's go pick that. So in terms of punishment, I have this jar here, which is all my books from before 2018. I'm going to pick one at random, and I have to read it, or at least do a solid attempt on it before DNFing it and getting rid of it. I feel like that's fair. Although this month I was in a mood, and I might give myself a little bit of grace, but I don't want to because I feel like this is fair. So let's see. This one is, what is it? Oh, How to Love by Katie Katungno. I got rid of that one. So I haven't gone through this jar in a little while. So, there's some books in here that I just don't own anymore. Let's see. Oh, goodness. This one I also got rid of. I will find one that I still have. Okay. Henry VIII. Okay, I will be reading Henry VIII by Derek Wilson. This one is a nonfiction, and it's, I believe, what was it? Life and Times of the Tyrant Henry VIII. I dropped the paper. So I'll have a picture up here. I will find my book later. It's probably lost in piles, but that will be my punishment book. I do need to read it eventually, so I'm glad I'll be getting the chance to read it now. One of my goals this year is to read, or put on a TBR at least, because I do read several nonfiction a month, but to put on my TBR one nonfiction a month. So I'll be reading this one for sure as a nonfiction this upcoming month. So that's not an awful pull, I will admit. It could have been worse. Let's get into what's coming up. All right. So as last time, which I found very helpful, I just shuffled these while telling my plans. So my plans for next month, or for April, I am doing the Aurelium Spring Equinox readathon. I do that one every year. So there are 14 prompts. I think I will come up with a specific readathon TBR for that one, as I need to figure out books for that. There's my envelope. And there's my room. I think I need to just figure out what books I will be reading for that. So I'll come up with a specific TBR. In regards to anything else, I don't have any buddy reads, and I don't have any things. I do want to continue. I literally have read the first paragraph of Gone with the Wind. So I need to read Gone with the Wind. I do really want to read it because that's something I would like to prioritize. So there's that. I don't know if that's the person or the weapon, but it's one of them. There we go. Then I need to read, I don't know what else I want to read. Honestly, I'm feeling in the mood for not mysteries. I'm feeling in the mood for contemporaries, maybe historical books. I don't know. I'm just not wanting to read. So I'm hoping for some easy reads. I'm not even sure what is my next Agatha Christie book that's on my list to pick up. So I'm really kind of lost at what I'm wanting to read, which is an interesting place to be in. So yeah. All right. Last card. And then let's set up the deck, or set up the board, I should say, and figure out what we're reading next. I'm so sorry. I'm all over the place, and I totally forgot to pull my author names before doing my TBR Clue stuff. So apparently we're doing this backwards. I have already done all the cards like you saw. Now we're gonna view the names before I have officially put all the stuff together. So let's find out who I'm doing. I am clearly all over the place today, and that's not great. So the first name is Ira Levin. Don't remember who that is. I think that might be the classics, the modern classics. Let's pull another one. Christopher Marlowe. That's a play. All right, I'll grab those. By the way, I'm putting Frances Burney back in. I didn't get to her work of Evelina. I just didn't have enough brain power, but I did read Jack London's book. So I have read 2 this month. Okay, so I have here, first of all, let's say I have 2 of these authors, 2 books by this author to pick from. So Ira Levin, I know nothing about this. The first one, let's see, A Kiss Before Dying. I got in a subscription box. Page Habit, was it? Or was it Blind Date with a Book? Something like that. So the back says, Dorothy meets a handsome young man with an eye on her for her inheritance when she's in her first year of university. They are to be married and her life will be blissful. But Dorothy is pregnant and her fiance's plans are ruined, for Dorothy will be disinherited if her father discovers the truth. So the young man provides his bride to be with some pills that will solve the problem. Soon there will be no baby and perhaps no Dorothy either. Interesting. So this was written in 1954. This one is called The Boys from Brazil. And this is a classic thriller where Levin imagines Dr. Joseph Mengel's nightmarish plot to restore the Third Reich. And this, I imagine, is in Brazil. So good choices. I at least have a choice to pick between the 2 of them this month. This is the first time I have a choice between multiple books by the same author for my shelves, which is great. The other one is the Marlowe play, which I don't remember the title of, so I'll quickly have to check. So it is The Tragical History of Dr. Faustus. So that will be the play I read. I'll probably find a version to watch online, so that will be my other one to do, and I'm actually quite happy with these pulls. So first month, I'm actually really happy with my author pulls, and I mean, this is a good project so far. I'm really enjoying what I've been trying from these authors, but at the same time, this is the first month I'm really happy with actually what I've been pulling. First one, Out of Comfort Zone. So the first one we pulled was Out of Comfort Zone. And for that one, I picked one that I really want to finish, and I really should finish before I forget the series. And this is one of my series or Series What Series books, and it is Lost World, or The Lost World by Michael Crichton. I don't have to stick to this TBR in case you're new here, and I'm normally more organized than this. I'm so sorry. But this is the final one in the duology, and I really want to finish off this series because then I will be able to check it off my list. So this one follows after the events of Jurassic Park, where it's taking over the world, I believe. I don't know anything else, and I really love Jurassic Park. I loved it, and I'm not a big sci-fi dinosaurs person, and I never watched the movie. I still haven't watched the movie. I still need to do that. But this one I am putting on the TBR so I can be reminded to finish off this duology while it's still fresh in my mind, even though that was like almost 6 months ago now, probably 6 months ago now. Anyways, I'm gonna try to finish this off in April. Second one is Christian fiction. The next one was Christian fiction. And for that one, I am going with one that I was like scouring my books, trying to find the Henry VIII book. And I found Plot Twist by Bethany Turner. And I literally know nothing about this, but I was like, that's a Christian fiction book and I own it. Why have I not put it on my Christian fiction shelf? So in the back, it says that February 4th is a very typical day for Olivia Ross, but every year she meets this guy, or that year she meets this guy, she doesn't get his name, and then she's always looking for him. I'm expecting better things than the One Day in December book. This one better be way better. And this is a Christian fiction book. It looks like it's standalone, and it's typed off with like an aspiring screenwriter has a chance an encounter with an actor who could be the man of her dreams. Oh, for the next 10 years, she'll write the story, but will he end up being the star? I'm excited for this one. It's called Plot Twist. I'm wondering to see what the twist will be. Either way, I'm happy about this one, and I'm excited to pick this one up since I didn't even know I owned it. That's a problem. Third is Similar to a Favorite. For the dining room, we got Similar to a Favorite. And for that one, I figured what's more similar to a favorite than the sequel? So I'm picking up Well of Ascension for this one. I loved book one and I read it in December, just after Christmas, and I am desperate to pick up this one now. I've been wanting to pick it up for a little while, but I just haven't found the time to put it on TBR, to dedicate time to it, and I figured, you know what? I'm never gonna find the time unless I actually dedicate it to a TBR. So this is a great time. Why not say it's similar to my favorite, which was The Final Empire. I really added that to my favorites list on Goodreads, and I'm gonna put this one in there too. It is as big as well. It's like 800 pages, but I flew through book one and I flew through Final Empire, so I'm sure this is gonna be a flying one as well. Please let me know down below if you want me to do a spoiler-filled vlog like I did the first one, because I thoroughly love the first one. I loved it so much. And I had never read Brandon Sanderson before, so this will be a really exciting experience for me, I'm sure. Fourth, 2020 TBR. In the kitchen, we got my 2020 TBR. So that's like a list of books that I purchased during that year, and I have them in a jar. I think that might be this jar over here. I have had that jar for a little while now, and I was not happy with any of the books on my list. Not happy. I did not want to read any of them. They were all mysteries. Some of them I might be interested in swapping out for this book I've picked, but I just did not feel like reading any of them right now. So I picked, tentatively, Little Lord Fauntleroy. This one's by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I don't know why I had an accent there. This one, I don't know anything about. It's her children's classic, like The Secret Garden. It's about 7-year-old Cedric who gets quite a shock when he's whisked away from the streets of New York to an English stately home. I've never read this one. I've owned it for a while now, obviously. And I'm excited to pick this one up. This one does go towards my spring equinox, but I will be talking about all of those books later on. Number 5, The Wrong Season. For the ballroom, we got The Wrong Season, which means the season we're not in, and currently I'm in spring. So I have this out of the library, and that is always on my mind. And I first looked at the cover and thought, that looks like fall. And then I read the first page and it said it's New Year's Eve, so that's winter. Either way, I am currently in spring. This is not spring. This is a romance by Susan May Warren. And I don't know anything really about this. It says that it is about Casper who comes back home and he has to face unresolved issues with the woman of his dreams. And the problem is that he has to work with Raina a lot. So tension, but I love what Susan May Warren does with her books. This will also be for my Read Your Bookshelf Challenge by Chantel Reads All Day, which is to have your initials in the title. So this has an N and an S, and my last name starts with an S, and my name is Naomi. So I'll be having this one in for that prompt. I'm excited to read this one, even though it's not my own personal book. I'm excited to just read a romance and just not think about the world. Number 6 is a TBR Vet. For TBR Vet, that is pretty easy, and honestly, I'm just gonna go with Henry VIII. So this is by Jack Wilson. This is my mandatory read, and actually that means I can't do it. I have to think of another one. Rats. Okay, I'll be right back with another one. This works even better. I'm going to put an And of Wendy Poplars in here because I need to read this for the Analog, and I totally forgot about it. And I've owned this one for at least 15 years. So this one is book 5 in the series, or no, book 4 in the series. Although this one was written like after publication order, it's messed up than chronological order. So I haven't read this one in a very, very long time. So I'm counting these as like new reads to me. This one follows Anne after she's left college, and I can't tell you anything more than that because that'd be spoilers for the series. But I do really enjoy this series, so I need to read this one. I'm reading with the group for Analog, which is hosted by Emily from Novelle Novels. So I'm glad to remember to put this on my TBR, even though I cannot put Henry VIII on. The reason why Henry VIII can't go on my TBR Clue game is because it's a punishment book. So it's an extra book I have to read this month. So it's book number 10 on my to-read list, and I have to read this one. Number 7, or whatever the number this is. Second Chance Author. So the next one is Second Chance Author, and this one I struggled, but I have chosen to do Ken Follett because I read Pillars of the Earth. I did give the book 4 stars. I gave it the book 4 stars, but I really did not like my reading experience because it was just so graphic and it was such a long book and I really struggled with it. So I am going to try another book, which my coworker has lent to me. I don't know the name of the book right now. It's a mystery. Apparently it's going to be really great, and I'll pop the picture up here. I don't even have the book with me. I left it at work. So I need to actually go get it from work so I can read it. But I've been kind of putting it off because it's Ken Follett, so that's a good reason for me to pick it up. So here's the one I'll be reading for Second Chance Author. All right, next one, a clue-like character. In the library, we got a clue-like character. Now, who can you imagine more at the mansion of Clue or a Mr. Body than Miss Marple. So I looked at my reading list and I think I'm reading Murder at the Vicarage next. So I'm excited about that. So I'm putting Miss Marple in here for a clue-like character. That might be stretching it a little bit, but I really just want to read Miss Marple. I just need to read Miss Marple so badly. She needs to be my life now. And if it's not Miss Marple, I will be picking up another Miss Marple, or this one, very soon. So this one is the first book of the Miss Marple series where there's Murder at the Vicarage. It's been a while since I've read this one, so I can't remember all the details, but I think I gave it 5 stars when I first read it. So I'm excited to reread this one and so excited to have Miss Marple again. Last one. More than 500 pages. So the last one is to read a book over 500 pages. Now, you can better believe I have a book that's over 500 pages because it is over 1,000 pages. Call it the wind. I literally have read the first paragraph on audio and in ebook form. Yeah, I am doomed. That's all I've read. So I'm gonna really try to read this. I really do want to. And this is by Margaret Mitchell. I really would like to read this one. I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish it, but I'm gonna give it a good shot. So I hope I can. I really want to read it and give it a good try and see if I like it. I think I can if I really put my mind to it, but I actually need to put effort in and not just let it be forgotten. So this is a priority for me. I know I said that last month, but last month I just didn't even think about it. Now it's gonna be in front of my face so I can actually see it. So this is my over 500 page book because it's over 1,000 pages. Yeah, it's gonna be a massive undertaking, but I think I can do it. But I also put Well of Ascension on here. What was I doing to myself? And this is not the end. So I plan to read the whole Bible in 2022, and for my intended books for April, if you want to read along with me, I thought this might be fun if you want to, is 1st and 2nd Kings and 1st Chronicles. So those 3 books are my intended books for the month of April, and then after that will be my upcoming books from 2nd Chronicles to Job. So there you go. I also have to read one of these 2 books, or try them at least, and I have to read the Christopher Marlowe play. So one of these 2, one of this. That will be fun and easy. I'm actually really excited about these ones, so that's great. And if I don't read Always on My Mind, I have these other books. Literally, yeah, all 3 of these have my initials in them. So I have Aggie Morton, Mystery Queen, Peril at Owl Park. Then I have Dead Man's Folly, which is also an Agatha Christie. A Caribbean Mystery, which is a Miss Marple Agatha Christie. And The Other Windsor Queen Girl by Georgie Blalock, which is a historical fiction. So I have many options for my initials. Then for the Agatha Christie one, which is to have an adventure, I think I might go with this one. Like I told you, I want Miss Marple in my life. So I think I might go for this one for the Agatha Christie Read Christie 2022 project. There's that. And then for Buzzword. So I have The Big Heist. And then I also had Giant Spread, which is also an Agatha Christie. I don't know if I'm going to get to that because I don't have a copy, but I really would like to. I also have The Little White Horse, which is by Elizabeth Gouge or Googe. I've heard it pronounced both ways. And this one I talked about as well in my recommendations video for Buzzwordathon in April. So I have a few options and I am excited for my variety of books. I mean, at least it looks interesting to me right now, although my mood could change and I could switch things up, but you'll have to check out my wrap up as I go through my mid-month wrap up to see how it goes, and my spring equinox TBR, that's what the word is, to see how these books will all fit into the prompts, because I do plan on trying all 24 prompts, or not 24, 14 prompts. All 14 prompts to see how I can accomplish them all, because I tend to read more than 14 books a month. So I'm gonna just try and knock them out. So that's my hope and my aim. So I'll let you know how these books all line up. we'll see if that all works out. But thank you so much for watching. Please let me know down below which of these books do you think I should prioritize, especially if you think that a book would work better for a prompt that you think I would like. Please let me know that down below in the comments. Please like this video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new here, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.